what would be your view? First of all, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Would you agree that this O2C weakness is probably, a bunch of taxes that came in, export taxes, and therefore we could see an improvement? But more importantly, the financial unit going for an IPO, is this to be regarded as first of more such, IPOs that may be brought by the company? Is that therefore something that will go into your price target for the company?
So firstly, the O2C business and gas included is always the elephant in the room, because 63% of consolidated net profit, even in this quarter, came from these businesses. So that will remain actually a very large driver. And needless to say, the $4 windfall tax did impact things. In fact, if you add back the $4 windfall tax, they did actually have a O2C had a increase in EBITDA of about 26% year on year. So it was essentially the windfall tax which did impact, and of course, windfall tax to a similar extent of about $4 continues into this quarter. So that is, needless to say, going to be a damper in the near term. On your second question of, should we see further demergers? Needless to say, I think the intent over a period of time is to actually list the businesses separately. Now, the time frame, of course, is very open-ended, and one cannot say if it will happen in the near term or on the longer term. The market, you may recall, actually there were rumors that it could happen with this result. So in fact, just the financial services spin-off businesses, in fact, maybe a bit of a dampener to the extent because the market was expecting much larger businesses to be spun off. So yes, you could expect further spin-offs. The timeline is clearly one which remains an imponderable.
All right, Jal, got that. Balaji, morning. Thanks so much for joining, and let's get you into this conversation as well. Balaji, morning. Thanks so much for joining, and let's get you into this conversation as well. How would you view the numbers? Point number one. Point number two is, they're talking about demerging this financial services business. Is there any value that you're currently attributing to it? If yes, could you give us a number?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show. So I will keep my discussion to Jio since I am primarily a telecom analyst. So as far as Jio was concerned, this quarter was fairly stable, I would say. ARPU marginally went up on a sequential basis, and considering the fact that this quarter had an extra day, and the fact that the FTTH business, which also is included in the overall results, has been growing at a pretty rapid clip. I would say that on the mobile business front, this quarter was fairly stable. And as Reliance had already announced, they are planning to invest about rupees 2 lakh crores in the next few years on 5G, of which they have spent close to 89,000, 90,000 crores on spectrum. And as a result, one would expect the rollout to happen fast. They themselves have given a timeline that they would like to target pan-India coverage by the end of calendar year 2023. So, I would think that the case for a tariff hike, probably rises post these results, where we are seeing that in the absence of tariff hikes, the revenue has been quite stable. And considering the fact that investments are going to be stepped up from here on. So as far as the Jio Financial Services is concerned, frankly, as of now, we don't assign any separate value for that business.
Okay, you said the case for a tariff hike rises now. Do you think that